So how do we begin this journey of changing ourselves? Mahatma Gandhi said this: your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits, and your habits become your values become your destiny. How many of you have heard this? It's a pretty common statement. I think I heard this like 20 years ago, but I still have not perfected this. I think this is a lifetime goal that we probably all have. So it all starts with your beliefs. Now, your beliefs are something that you accept to be true. Do you believe that you can be a loving spouse? Does anybody out there believe that they could be a loving spouse? Okay, you're nodding. So, do you want to be a loving spouse? Yeah. Do you believe that that is possible? Why do you believe that? Anybody?
You can do anything you want bad enough.
Yeah. She said you can do anything you want if you want it bad enough. It's very true. Very true. Do you believe that you could be a good parent? Or you could have good relationships with the other people around you? Is it possible? Do you believe that you can have happiness, or that you deserve to be happy? That's a big one. Do you believe that you can be healthy and whole? And do you believe that you can be successful? Sometimes you may think, well, gosh, I believe those things, but it's not that easy. It's not just believing. And you're right. That is just the seed. That is the beginning of anything that you want to change. I remember the day that I planted that seed inside of me when I wanted to sing. I have not been singing my whole life. In fact, I only started singing when I was 35. So this is kind of how I started. I just had this thought one day that maybe I could sing. And I would practice, like when everyone was out of the house and I'd be folding laundry, I would practice and I'd think, maybe I could sing. And so I practiced like this for months, and none of my family even knew. And one day my husband came home and I said, okay, I want you to sit way over there, way over on the couch. I'm going to stand way over here, and I don't want you to look at me because you're making me really nervous, and I'm not going to look at you. And he's like, okay. I said, because I'm going to sing you a song. We've been married for 15 years, and he'd never heard me sing ever, and so I'm sure he was very shocked. So he said, okay, go ahead, sing me a song. So I sang a song to him, and he said, when did you start singing? And I said, well, I've been just trying to do it, like on my own. I'm really scared. I'm really scared to sing in front of you. And I says, but, you know, I just have this feeling that if I can sing in front of you, I bet I could sing in front of anyone. So I'm going to have to practice with you, like every day. And he was so good. He said, okay, all right. That may have been like his initial reaction, but every day I would come to him. He'd be watching television. I'm like, hi, I'm back. I'm ready to sing to you. And he's like, mute. Okay, go ahead. So I'd stand there and he's watching television, but I'm really singing. And I would practice, and I'm like, okay, I actually can look at you now when I'm singing. This is progress. And then he'd look at me and I'd be like, okay, don't look at me yet, or, you know, I'm still kind of nervous. So we worked on this. I worked on this with him. I remember my daughter had a little Barbie mic. And so, you know, when you're singing, you know, when you watch like American Idol and these people get on there and they sing and they're completely out of tune and they sound, oh, and you're thinking, how do they not know? They have ears right here on the side of their head. How could they not hear that? Well, I did a little bit of research, and we actually hear ourselves through the bones in our ears. So, you know, when you get a recording, you record your voice, and it sounds like, wait, that isn't what I sound like. And everyone around you is going, yeah, that is exactly what you sound like. So I remember thinking, I need to record myself, because I really honestly don't even know if I'm on key. So I would sing in my little daughter's Barbie mic, and I would record myself, and I would listen. And sometimes I would just be like, that is horrible. What am I thinking that I could sing? And I remember kind of going back and forth with this process. And one day I listened to myself sing, and I was like, that is so embarrassing. I can't believe that I've been singing in front of my family, in front of my husband, and it sounds like this. And I thought, I'm done. I'm wasting so much time on this. What am I thinking that I'm doing? And I remember just almost walking away from that. And I had this little thought, this little voice inside of my mind say, try it one more time. Just do it one more time. And I remember pushing record, and I was like, sang a little song, and I listened to it, and I heard just a tiny glimmer of hope in my voice. And I thought, maybe I could build on that. Maybe I could build on that little tiny seed. And so I continued to sing. And my dad, I remember telling my dad, I grew up with my dad, and he was very shocked. You sing? And I said, yes, I've been trying to do this. So I sang for my dad, and he says, why don't you sing at Grandma's funeral? And I thought, I could do this. I could do this, right? And I told my husband, but I can't do it alone. Will you come and sing with me? And he's such a good sport. He says, okay, I'll do it. So we stood up and we sang together at my grandmother's funeral. Well, I sat back down after we sang. We kind of didn't even really sing. We mostly cried. It was awful. And I sat down next to my daughter. She's like, she always keeps it very real with me. And she said, Mom, that was horrible. And I said, I know. I said, I know. But there, you know how you have this little flame inside of you and people tell you something like that and you're like, chong, I'm done. I'm not going to try that again. That was so embarrassing. There's something about her saying that and that whole situation that I said, one day I'm going to sit down and you're going to say, Mom, that was so amazing. I says, and I know it's going to take me a long time, but I'm going to work toward that. My brother, after that, he came up, he said, that was so good. I said, that's okay, Ashlyn already told me the truth. I know it wasn't. So my daughter, we kept singing. My daughter, who is not here today, but she is married, and she was my pianist. We started writing songs together. I had never written music ever. So we started writing music together, and I had this epiphany. I couldn't sing really well. I taught her to play piano, but she did mostly by ear. We were just sort of coming into this. And I had this epiphany, and my husband remembers this. I started crying, and I said, we are going to do something with this. And I'm sure in his mind he was going, oh, hopefully, for your sake. I said, I know we are. I know we're going to do something with this. I know I can't sing really well. I said, and I'm just starting to write music. I said, but I feel like I'm going to do something with this. Well, my daughter and I wrote this first song, and we decided that we were going to sing this. We were asked to sing in sacrament meetings, so we were practicing, and one of the little ladies in my ward said, well, who are you going to get to sing that? And I said, I'm singing it right now. I'm the one that's going to sing it. And she was like, oh. And I thought, oh gosh, people are going to think, what is she trying to do? They had known me forever, and I'm in this ward, and here I am. I'm going to try this solo. And it was very scary. And we went on to continue to sing. And that was very difficult for me. That was one of those times where I had felt like so many times during the process it was too hard. Getting in front of people and going and feeling the blood just drain out of your face and going, just stand, Lori. Don't faint. Just keep standing, keep breathing. It was hard. It was very difficult to overcome that. But I wanted that so bad. I just felt like there was something that connected with me with that. And I didn't know what it was. I didn't know at that time that I was going to be singing in front of thousands of people one day. If someone had told me that when I was 25, I would have said, oh, you have the wrong girl completely. No, that is not me. I love in the Book of Mormon, Moroni says, faith is things hoped for and not seen. I couldn't see those end results. He goes on to say, wherefore dispute not because ye see not, for ye receive no witness until after the trial of your faith. And I tell you that that is true. Anytime we want something bad enough, just like you say, it sounds so good in here, and it's so hard to produce it out here. But there becomes like a change, and I think that's what's important, is that whenever we want something, it's not easy for a reason. It's hard because it actually makes us change inside. We become someone different through that process. The first step is believing, or faith, and this is our seed. What comes after believing? Did you nurture the seed? How do we nurture our seeds? We think a lot. And thoughts for most people is where we go wrong. You may think, oh yeah, I do want a good relationship, but you know, if my husband would just be doing this and this, we would be having a great relationship. Or you'd say, yeah, if my kids listen, I would be really patient. Or if I was raised another way, yeah, I would be a really good friend or a really good person. Or if I had a better job, I would be more successful. Or if I had more money, I sure would be more giving. Or if I had been born a singer, I would sure be singing right now. If my spouse would stop buying those darn French fries, then I'd be able to be healthy. And if I didn't have all these problems, I wouldn't get so depressed. What's wrong with this way of thinking? Nothing's ever good enough? Sounds like a lot of blaming. What does blaming look like? You want to click that? Oh, I forgot this one. Oh, this is my blame. This is, I don't know, I like him. Cuts down on the finger pointing. She's wearing little mittens. Okay, click that one more time. So, does this look like blame? Isn't that interesting? They're not saying anything, are they? Well, maybe these guys were. But blame really does have a lot of body language. You can tell that that is blame. And what does this look like? Their body language is totally different. Do you feel yourself almost, it's different. It's a different feeling when you look at that. How about families? Sorry. Doesn't this remind you of the dad yelled at the mom, and then the mom yelled at the kids, so the kids yelled at the dog? And what about this one? Totally different. Do you notice something that's similar in all those pictures those families are doing? They're working together. I love that. So I'd like to think the opposite of blame. I actually looked it up on the dictionary is approval, harmony, praise, complimenting, peace. The truth is that we really cannot blame anyone for our circumstances. And if we take 100% responsibility for our lives, then really we're having that mentality that we are the only ones that we can change. Has anyone ever read or heard of The Love Dare out there? It's a great book. Or seen the movie Fireproof. And I remember when I watched that, the movie is okay, but the book is fabulous. It's written by Alex and Stephen Kendrick. And they actually take you through like a 40-day dare. And it's a dare to love. And I really like it, so click that next one. The very first dare in this book is this. Love dare number 1. The first part of this dare is fairly simple. Although love is communicated in a number of ways, our words often reflect the condition of our heart. For the next day, resolve to demonstrate patience and to say nothing negative to your spouse at all. If the temptation arises, choose not to say anything. It's better to hold your tongue than to say something you'll regret. So, have you ever tried this? 100%, not one negative word out of your mouth to your spouse. If you haven't ever tried this, I want you to try it. Starting now, starting today. This is like an amazing process to go through this.